money, my motivator. My money maker. No, I don't see them haters. So let go get the paper.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Spare Keys Podcast. I'm your host, Q. My cohort, Shell, is MIA at the moment, so we'll be having this conversation solo with our guest, Margo Newkirk. Margo, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Margo Newkirk. I am 30 years old. Freshly out of the military. Did that for about 9 years. Quincy and I go back a long ways. Currently residing in Durham with my beautiful girlfriend, and we just recently started our own business.
Oh, really? Let's talk about that. What's the name of your business?
It is called Blend of Soul. Currently, right now, we're doing juices. We have five flavors. You know what I'm saying? We got the Oak Hill, yes. We got the Lemon Crush Lemonade. Shout out to Prince on that one. R.I.P. If you didn't know, that's a song, by the way. That's one of his songs. We have the Mango Me Crazy. We have the Kiwi Do You Love Me. And we got the Berry Bombshell.
Berry Bombshell. What's in that?
Oh, all the berries. You got blackberries, strawberries, blueberries. What's the other berry? I make them so much. I really do be forgetting about them.
You got
and raspberries. There you go.
Yeah. Cool. Now, as you said, we do go way back. We're from a small place, Clinton, Salemburg, Roseboro, North Carolina, whichever one you want to pick and decide.
Don.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. So you've been a lot of places, right? You've been to Korea, now you're out in the big city world of Durham.
Yep.
I know you've been here in Charlotte a little bit as well. Where else have you been?
Germany, Belgium, Spain, Japan. Yeah, everywhere. Literally everywhere. That you're the first person to ask me, like, or maybe the second person to ask me, like, everywhere I've been, and I actually had to take a second and think about it because it's a lot of different places I've been.
Right. So which one was the best?
Ooh. Probably somewhere between. Okay, Korea was good because of the people that I met.
Right.
And the long-lasting relationships I built there. Korea was good because of that. Travel-wise, I would have to say it would be between Germany and Spain.
Why is that?
The food in Spain is bomb. I'm a foodie. I like to eat.
Right. We fat.
Fat. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Germany, because once you're in Germany, everything is like so cheap. I think the plane ticket from Germany to Spain was like $50 or €50, excuse me.
€50. It's probably like what?
That's like,
$60.
I think it's, I don't know. It's like $60. I don't know what the exchange rate is now, but yeah, it's definitely more than the American dollar. I'll tell you that.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah.
So being from a small town like we're from and going out into the world, I would say, like, from just speaking from personal experience, I would say it's changed me quite a bit. Right. So I'm just curious to know, how has your mind changed or your brain evolved from seeing the world and going to new places? Like, what experiences have you had that, really shaped who you are while you were traveling?
One thing I will say is that I'm probably going to say the best thing about it is talking with and meeting different people that I would never have met in the small town. Where we're from, kind of one-sided.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I hate to say this, but it's like, hey, the black folks over here, the brown folks over here. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. But with the military, it's a melting pot, and it kind of it forced me to blend. And it wasn't a bad forcing, like I was trying to go against it, but it I think it helped expand my horizons, and it definitely opened me to trying different things, food, I think I went snowboarding for the first time in Korea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like things like small things like that that people our age will probably never be able to do and experience. Like I got to experience that before I was 30. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Completely world changing.
So
Yeah.
right. So it was an amazing experience though. Like, yeah, definitely. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
So my uncle once told me a story of him. I think he was in Japan. He said
Mm-hmm.
he went into a bar and there was a monkey like shackled in the middle of the bar, like behind the bar, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
sat down and ordered a drink. And next thing he knew, a guy next to him walked up, ordered something in I think Japanese, and then the bartender turned around, scalped the monkey, pulled its brain out, and put it in a bowl.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I was going.
Nah. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
that's why. So I was going to ask you if you ever seen some shit like that, because
Bruh, I ain't never seen no shit like that. Hell no.
that was one of the wildest stories I ever heard. I was like, bro, you mean to tell me it was somebody in a bar that ordered a monkey brain and put it in a bowl and just ate it raw? Like they over there wilding, bro.
What? Yeah, I've never heard of that before in my entire life. I'm not saying it didn't happen because I wasn't there, but that is beyond me. Nah, never seen nothing like that. The only thing that's like the only weird thing, and I can't say it for definite or not, but in Korea, eating dog is a
Right,
delicacy. So I don't know what I'm eating. I could have ate a dog. I thought it was beef.
right,
I
dog
don't
beef.
know.
Yeah,
You know, woof.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
bro.
I don't know. I don't know. But that's like that's like probably the weirdest thing, I've come across. But hopefully I didn't eat a dog. If I did, that bad boy was good. I'm gonna tell you
So
that right
that so
now.
that Asian stereotype is true. They really be eating dogs and cats and whatnot.
Yo, like real talk, they really do. They really do. I can't remember what the name of the dish is in Korean, but yeah, they legit do, like no
Right.
lie.
So what do they have as pets? Like, do they keep dogs and cats as pets? What do they do?
Bro, they still keep dogs and cats as
So
pets.
what is like? So
Telling
you
you.
know how like you see the photos of like the fried chicken, and then there's like a chicken eating a chicken, and it's like cannibalism, but on a chicken level. I'm wondering now, do owners ever feed their dogs dog? You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I never I never wanted to veer down that path. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
couldn't. Shit, I don't want to talk about it either. But the thing is, I'm just kind of like, because I mean, I always thought it was like a weird stereotype where people were like, oh, they over there eating dogs and cats, but like now that you tell me the story, it's true. So I'm like, oh
Nah, like that's
yeah,
true. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
So
That's
now
really
I'm
true.
wondering about all the Chinese food I've been eating all my life. Like truly,
Just
I just thought
saying,
niggas
never
was
know.
racist, but here we are.
Nah. Here we
So
are.
what is the
You
wildest
silly.
thing you ever ate while you were overseas?
Uh, the wildest thing I ever ate. I've had like I guess it was live. It was moving.
It
I've
was
had live
moving.
octopus. It was
So
moving a
you
tad bit.
so you
It was
picked it
moving a
up.
tad bit. It was a dare. It
It
was
was
a dare. Okay. It was a dare. It was a dare. I got like $50 off of it. 50
okay.
technically wasn't enough, but you know, eh, hey, you gotta take what you can get. You know what I'm
You was
saying?
how
I
old
was
at this
broke back
point?
then. I think I was somewhere between 24 and 25 because I think I turned 25 while I was in Korea, like on my way out of Korea. I think I turned 25.
Okay,
So
so peer
somewhere in
pressure is
between
real,
there.
and it happened to you at 25. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, it did.
That's
It
what's up.
did.
I can
So
appreciate
yeah.
that because we've all done some things
Be
we
honest.
probably in hindsight shouldn't have done.
Oh, definitely. Now don't ask me nothing else because the rest of it I gotta take to the grave now.
I was just
Definitely.
gonna ask you what the lifestyle was like in Korea, but
Look, listen, listen, listen. Look, my girlfriend is in the other room. You
I
trying
ain't
to get
trying
me
to
in
get you
trouble,
something. You know
bruh?
what I'm
What
saying?
you doing?
Trying
You
to.
trying to get me
But all
in?
right, but all right. Um, so so you were in Korea. I mean, clearly North Korea and South Korea are always beefing, right? So what was your duties as a person in the military during that time?
So pretty much it was wild because I worked they call it a nonner job, which means like I'm not like turning wrenches and nailing stuff down. So
Right.
I was a desk job. I actually worked at the post office to be exact. I actually worked at the post office. So I was in the military working at the post office. Um, Technically, I work for USPS. I don't know if that makes sense. I was in the military, but on the military installation, it's like a
Right.
town. It's like a small town, a small city. So you had everything that a small city has. And technically, I work for USPS. But yeah, man, like it did get crazy for a while because what's his name, Kim
Right. The
Jong
homie.
Un. I like to call him Lil Kim. Yeah, the homie Lil Kim was wilding a couple times when we was over there. They had shot some missiles over there near Japan, and like we ain't that far from Japan. Well, I wasn't that far from Japan at the time, so we used to have like like different exercises and stuff. We used to have to walk around in our mop gear, like our flak vests and all this stuff. Like, yeah, it got crazy. It was crazy for about maybe 3 or 4, man, I would say about three weeks to a month. It was kind of crazy and I think that was the same
Yeah.
time. You remember
Yeah.
that time Dennis Rodman had went over there? I think I was there during that time, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, this mug. Yeah, so that kind of like set things off a little bit, but yeah, it was very crazy. Like you always had to be on alert because
With the border,
we were
right?
only 50 miles
Yeah.
from the border, 50 miles from the
That's
border.
crazy.
Yep, that's it.
So you mean to tell
So
me you were there
who
when
you
they shot the
telling?
missiles off at Japan, basically?
Oh yeah, like Japan, like I think they had to go on lockdown
Right.
if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Obviously, um, I think he shot like off of the coast of Japan, so it didn't necessarily hit them, but I think they
Right. Right.
felt like some remnants of it. You know what I'm
So
saying?
what were those drills like?
Yeah, yeah. So it was crazy. Man, listen. So my normal work day, some days I had to be to work at like 9 a.m. ish. And then some days I had to be to work at about 5:45, just depending on
Five
what my
forty-five
duty was
a.m.
that day in the
Like.
post office. That's a regular.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, like up. So that means I had to be there at 4 4. I'm at 5:45.
right. Getting
So that
dressed.
means I'm up at like 4 something, putting on my uniform, fixing, doing the hygiene stuff, all that stuff. So, and mind you, like the day doesn't end till like
Like yeah,
the post
five
office
p.m.
closes like what 5? I think that's the normal time for the post office. Yeah, so I'm not done till like 6 or 7 when all the mail is put like on the truck and stuff. So that's
Shit.
an honest day's work if I do say so myself. But that was a regular day. So, but on like those days when like we would be beefing with North Korea, man, we would have to be to work like so. We would be on call technically. Technically, we would be on call. Like my phone, I could not have my phone on like do not disturb, like no none of that. We used to have recalls, which means like we go down a list of people, we just make sure everybody's good. Hey, report in to work or report to this duty station, report there, report there. So you were on call technically during the exercise, or
Right.
when North Korea will pop off, we would be on call 24/7. So that put me if we didn't get called in, that would put me at work at about 6 ish, and you didn't get off till 6 or 7 ish that night. And not only are you doing that, not only are you going to do your regular job, but
Right.
you also have to wear all this heavy ass equipment. So you got to add like 10, 15, 20 pounds to what you're already, what you already have on. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, they didn't allow us to take taxi, so you had to walk to
Right.
work. Now, mind you, I stayed on the other side of base from where my job was. It took me about a good
So
30 minutes just to
let me get this
get
straight.
to my
You were
workplace.
up
Yeah,
4 in the morning.
it was a lot.
Had to be working
It was
five
a lot.
forty-five. So basically about 6 o'clock, and you ain't leave till about 6 o'clock.
Hmm.
So really, you working a full 12-hour
Yeah.
shift most days with an extra 20 pounds of weight on your back.
Oh yeah,
On top of that, you got to walk probably
most
two
days.
miles to get to where you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It wasn't a joke. It was not a joke, and that was the skinniest I had ever been in the military, other than coming in. That was my skinniest weight, because I mean, you gotta think, you carrying all that stuff, man. By the time I got back to my room and like took my boots and stuff off, we used to have to we would have to wear, one of the uniform requirements, we would have to wear like a rubber boots, like big rubber boots. You know how like the almost like you seen guys that work
Right.
on like hog farms and stuff. We from the country, you know what I'm saying? Hog farms and stuff like that. The big black rubber boots. It was something similar to that. I would have to wear that over my actual combat boot.
Right. So
And to add insult to injury, I had on steel toe boots. Yeah. So by the time I got back to the room at the end of my work day, man, like my feet, like TMI, whatever, I don't care. Like it was so much sweat pouring from my body, it was ridiculous. Like, yeah, I had to. I
ASAP.
definitely had to have
Yeah.
a different uniform, like
I
damn
can
near
imagine
every
that's a
day.
full
Like
body
sweat,
workout
like
every day for
yo,
12 hours straight. Cause
you had to have one on deck
shit,
always.
man, that's probably, honestly, that's probably the best way to work out,
Oh,
to be real with you.
oh yeah,
Right.
it
You walking
is.
around with extra
It
20 pounds
is.
every day.
It
Like,
is
shoot.
because you're. I mean, you're forced to
Mm,
at that point.
that's
You ain't got
rough,
no
man.
choice.
That's rough. And so there was no other transportation
Yes,
to get from
sir.
A to B. Like, there was nothing you could do to, like, besides walk.
So we did have taxis, but
Right.
during the time that Korea, we were beefing with Korea, or we were just practicing just in case Korea popped off. Like it was a general order. We were not
Gotcha.
allowed to take the taxis, and if you were found in a taxi, you were reprimanded. You couldn't take we had taxis on base, but you couldn't take them. You couldn't take them during that time. I think it was one time they like we couldn't eat in the chow hall either. I don't know why. That's stupid. Like if I'm paying for it, but whatever. And we even had a dry like we even had a couple of
So,
dry weeks. You
so
couldn't
let me
have
tell you.
alcohol.
So,
You
so
had to be
let
like
me
on
ask you.
guard all the time, straight up.
So what was the
Yeah,
protocol behind that, right? Like you said you couldn't take taxis, right? So what were they afraid of? You
yeah.
gonna get jumped in a taxi cab when something popped off by somebody that was, Korean or whatever, or
No, not that. I think the main concern was probably
yeah, I'm
maybe
confused.
I don't know. I actually don't know. Now that you mention that, I really don't know. They just yeah, I'm confused too now. Now
So
that
it's
you
like
mention
so they
that, I
give you
really
so
don't know
okay.
what the
So military
protocol was
life
behind
sounds
that. All
like
I
they
know
make
is
you
I
wear
had to
extra
follow it. That was
clothes,
it, bro.
extra weight all the time. They
That was
give
it.
you orders, don't tell you why they're giving you orders, just expect you to follow them.
Mhm.
Is that about right?
Oh yeah, like that's a nutshell. That was my whole military career. What you talking about? Like
Right.
that
It
was
sounds like
it.
the whole spiel because it's like
You just like
you
interview
sign up for
over, we're
this
done.
shit like
That was
it's
it.
it
Like
is what it is. Like
yeah,
you put your
that's
name on the
it.
paper, you sign it, it's a wrap, right? So what are your options on getting out of the military though? Like in that case.
That's it. That is it.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like any other. I'm not gonna say any other contract, but it's a contract. You do your 4 years or you do your 6 years. Now, granted, when you do 4 years,
All the
technically they
time.
have when you sign a contract, there's like some. Always read the fine print, people. Always read the fine print on the contracts. There's a small piece of verbiage in there, and pretty much after you're done with your 4 or 6 year enlistment,
Hmm.
technically you're on what's it called? I think it's called IRR, which is like individual ready reserve for like
They
another
call
two
you at
years.
first.
So pretty much what that means is
Like
if we were
immediately.
going into an all out war and we had nobody else to call, they could still call you back. They could still call you back. Yeah. It doesn't happen. I think I've talked to somebody like an OG from like way, way back. I can't remember what war he was in, but an OG from like way back, he was like,
Right.
that
Yeah.
happened
Because
like
I would
one
imagine
time.
like, 9/11 like
That
that
never
when
happened.
we
So
got to,
it never
yeah,
happened. But
immediately call
it is in the
everybody back. Like, oh,
contract
you
as
left?
a
Nah,
just
you
in
home
case.
now. You with us.
Yeah.
Right. Suit up.
Oh
You
yeah.
going to war. So it's like a
Nah. Come
it's
back.
a
Come
it's a
back. Put that
contract.
uniform on, bro.
So
Get back.
what are the
Yeah.
benefits of being in the military? What
Hmm.
profit did you or what benefits did you sow from being in the military?
Hmm. So honestly, the only two things that I could tell you
Mm-hmm.
wholeheartedly that I received was I got my educational benefits. So I paid like $1,200 into the Montgomery GI Bill.
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
either choose the Montgomery GI Bill or you do the post 9/11, which means you came in like after 2011. You know, after the attacks and all that stuff. You get those, and honestly, the healthcare. Those are literally like the
Absolutely. Yeah.
only two. Those are like the only two things that like make the military great. Because you got to think, healthcare is expensive. Okay, whew, exactly. So you got to think like not pay either. Getting out and not paying for healthcare, or staying in and not paying for healthcare. Because I'm running into people with all kind
Mm-hmm.
of like different diseases and ailments, and not only for them, but
Exactly. Yeah.
I have a
Exactly.
couple
Yeah.
friends
And bills will
whose
rack up.
kids are like special needs. And, like military takes care of all that. So you got to think
So,
them
so to
being out of
recap,
the military, how
you
much money
said the
that would
healthcare and
cost
what
them.
else?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So those are really the only two
Education.
benefits.
So yeah. So
Those are
that
really the
okay.
only two benefits. I'm
That
not gonna lie
GI
to you.
Bill. What are you going to put that towards, or what have you put that towards?
The education benefits. Yeah.
Right.
So I did get an associate's while I was in. I have an
Mm-hmm.
associate's in business administration. You could put that towards. I had different certifications. You could put that towards certifications like, say, like you're in the IT career field. Like, say you were in the IT career field when you were in, and you got your what is it called, the S plus or whatever. You got security plus and stuff like that. You whatever when you get out, if you wanted, I don't know, whatever other certification it is out there that employers pay people for,
Right.
you
So
can get
basically, give
that,
you
and you ain't got to worry, like
giant
you don't have to
scholarships
worry
because you're
about
in the
paying for
military,
it.
right?
Like it's free. Like you and not only is it free because you're going to school, they will pay you to
So
go to school.
military has definitely benefited you, and I mean in some ways. So I guess my next question would
Oh
be,
yeah,
would you go back?
yeah, definitely, yeah. So oh
You
yeah,
want to talk about that?
hell nah, nah, I'm good. Nah, that was easy. Nope.
9 out of 10. Tell all the facts, nothing but the facts. Go
Oh,
ahead.
oh man. I don't know how deep you guys get on this podcast, but we can definitely talk about it. I have no problem with that. So my thing, yeah, so my thing is, so in the military, you know what I'm saying, you get in, it's just like any other job you do, right? You all bright
Be
out
all
and
you can
bushy
be.
tail. You're ready to conquer
Facts.
whatever they put in front of you. You're ready to be that leader and be this and be that, and just be the best you can be, literally. So cliche, but like, you know what I'm saying, be all you can be, literally. That's what you're trying to do. But as time goes on
Mm-hmm.
and you see different things in the military, the leadership aspect was a big thing for me. Like I used to, oh man, so my last duty station was South Carolina. So after leaving South Carolina, or before even leaving South
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, like I would literally, come spend the weekends with my girlfriend in North Carolina. And like I would literally be completely stressed out because of a certain supervisor. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but there's nothing you could do about it. You can't do nothing. Or you can complain. Does that mean that something's going to happen? Not necessarily. You could talk to the supervisor, which I had, which I did at the time directly, and let the person know, like, hey, like, you can't be treating me like this. Like, I don't care if I'm below you, I don't care if I'm above you. Like, I'm a human just like you are. Like, you gotta treat me with some
Right.
decency and respect.
Yeah.
I'm Give me the same respect that I
How
give
do they?
you. So like leadership was a big thing for me. And the crazy thing about it is I learned how to be a good leader by having bad leaders. Does that make sense? Yeah. So yeah. So that was a big thing for me leaving. I used to get so frustrated because like I felt like I was already a leader, but the military molded me into an even better leader. And they gave me they gave me more qualities than what I was learning on the outside. So definitely leadership was a big thing for me leaving. Like I was just that, and 40, you got 45 in office right now, so that has a lot to do with it as well. I'm
Right.
not gonna lie to you, it has a lot to do with it as well. And then not only that, last but not least, like
Yeah, you already know.
as you're in the military, you know what I'm saying, like you go in there young, like I said, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you start evolving, right? And so my thing was, man, like I'm all into like Black Power, Black history, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So my thing was, and I can't speak for everybody else, but my thing was, I can't I can't wear this uniform
Oh, for real?
and I can't play both sides. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't play both sides. It was gonna be one or the other, especially after that Mike Brown thing happened. Um, I was I was I was stationed in Missouri at the time. Actually, I was stationed in Missouri at the time that was happening. I was probably like 3 hours away from it, but I was stationed in Missouri at the time that happened, and it was complete chaos. It was crazy, and so that kind of like turned a light bulb on. Was like, okay, like what you gonna do? Like, is you gonna fight this war with them, or you gonna be with us? Because I look at it like this: any day they could have came to me and was like, "Yo, here's your gun. Which side
So
you
when you were in
which side you
Missouri, like,
choosing?" You know what
what
I'm saying?
changed?
I'm
I
never
mean,
gonna go
since
against my people.
whenever the
Never.
Mike Brown
So
incident
that's what I
happened,
and
like,
that's what I
I
felt
mean, I'm
like.
sure you could tell me
For me, it was a
what
burden
happened to the
to
people in the
continue to
city.
put that uniform on every day. I was miserable. So I had to go. I had to. I had no choice.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. So what was an eye opener for me was, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm gonna tell you, when I first got to
Hmm.
Missouri, I was in a little town. It was called what's it called? It's a weird name. It was called Knob Noster. That's exactly what it was called.
Right.
Knob Noster, Missouri. I was probably about an hour from Kansas City and 3 hours from St. Louis, and maybe 2 hours from Columbia, where like Mizzou was, or whatever, in that area. So when I got there, I had the first, like one of the first briefings I had was, it was an OSI, and OSI is like the FBI of the Air Force. They literally told me, if you are black, you cannot go to these certain places in Missouri, or not, you can't. You shouldn't. It's highly recommended that you don't go to these places in Missouri. And I'm just like, wait, what? I'm like, wait a second. I was like, okay, whatever. Then, whatever,
Right.
whatever,
Heavy.
whatever. Then during that same briefing, they also told us about
Right.
different extremist groups in the area, and obviously the
And then
KKK was
briefing.
in one, because it
Okay.
was a rural
Yeah.
part of Missouri. Right, you know what I'm saying? And not only did they have the KKK, which is obviously, we know is an extremist group. We know the history of the KKK. They had they included the
Right.
Black Panther Party in that extremist group. And I was like, wait, what the? So yeah, so I got that briefing 3 times while I was there. 3 times. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're telling me this, you're telling me one thing, right? But you're placing me in these places. What sense does that make? Like, it didn't make sense to me. It just didn't make
So
sense.
you
You're
mean to,
you're literally ordering me. You printed
yeah.
you
So
have
you
my
mean to
set of
tell me it was
orders, and I'm
like,
supposed to
as
go
soon as you
here
got
and
there, it was like, all right, these are the places you can't go
serve
because
in
of the
this
color of your skin. And
community.
then
Not
after
only the
that, they were
base,
like, all
but the
right, we're gonna put you
community
in some of these
surrounding the
places
base.
because we need
And
people
these people
there.
don't even want
But
me
then they
there.
also
Like, what?
claimed that the Black
Nah.
Panthers were an extremist
So
group,
that
even
was
though,
that was a
I
turning
mean,
point for me.
that's a weird misconception, right? It's like people don't really recognize the Black Panthers as what they are because of how ignorant people are
Hmm.
most of the time. But the fact that they put you in some of these places, like, okay, so let's say this. So they told you where not to go, and they put you in those places. So what happened when you got there?
Right, of course. Oh, it was okay. I mean, you still had, like, even in uniform, I still had there were still racist people that I was serving with, and that was another eye opener too. Dude, I got
Yeah,
called a nigga.
always.
I got called a black bitch. I've been called everything in the book, but I have to contain myself because I'm in uniform and I hold a certain rank and I hold a certain position in leadership. Because they can act out all they want to, but if I act out, I'm the angry black woman. Always. So
To get away from, yeah,
that was a trying time for me. I think when I was in Missouri, that was when I was thinking like, okay, it's time to make your exit plan. And so that's why that was the only
right.
reason I
So,
accepted my
so would you say
assignment to
that?
South Carolina was to get
Would you say
home,
that the
was
open
to get closer
racism
to home.
versus like
So it would
because
be
where
an
we're from,
easier
people aren't as
transition
bold as
out of the
that. They
military.
just
It wouldn't be so
hide
hard
behind closed
it's easier
doors
to
and
move,
they keep their
from
thoughts to
South Carolina
themselves.
to North Carolina
Would you
than
say
it is
you'd
from
rather
Missouri,
have
across
the
country and
closeted
stuff like that.
racist or
So
the
yeah.
open racist? Just a public bigot.
Ooh. Ugh. Nah, yo, be open. Keep it funky. Like I'm as real as I think I'm as real as it gets. I'm
Right.
upfront. Like I'll tell you what's on my mind. Tell me what's on your mind, so that way I know where to keep you at. Like don't, nah, because then like for me, if you're speaking from a military stance, if you're in uniform and you're a closet racist, say we go on the front line, you ain't gonna save my life because I'm black, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you not, and then I die and nobody knows why. Like you were
Right.
right there,
So,
nobody knows
and
why
you were
you
in the
didn't come
military
save me
when
or come help me. I
President
don't know
Obama went
why.
into
You know what I'm
office and
saying?
President Trump came in,
But
right?
being open, oh, I'm not gonna mess with you. Like
Yeah.
I already
So
know to stay
I was
10
gonna
steps
ask
behind
you,
you. I'm gonna let you do you,
did
and I'm
anything
gonna go over
change,
here,
like as
and we just
far
gonna
as
rock like that. Nah,
like racist
I'd rather
aspects?
you
I
be
think you were
open.
still in
I'd rather you
Missouri,
be
right?
open about it. Don't hide. Mm-mm. Oh boy, that was a sad day. Yeah. Oh man, it was crazy. So, one of my jobs or my troop, I made my troop do it. One of my troop jobs, when like each president or each person high up in the chain of Congress or whatever, they have an official photo, and once we get the photos, we're supposed to hang the official photo up.
Why would I do that?
Man, as soon as he was elected president, the man hadn't even been in office for 20-30 minutes yet, right? Or not 20-30 minutes, excuse me, a whole day yet. I had people coming to me, hey, when are you gonna take down that picture of President Obama and put the picture of President Trump? I'm like, bro, like
Right.
he bro, he ain't even took the picture yet, bro. First of all, like, no, I was like, that stays up, or we can take President Obama down. I said, but we not hanging up no president. We ain't hanging up no 45 picture up in there because he doesn't have one. Oh man, they were very adamant, and you
Right.
could, and
And
not to
even folks in
mention
uniform
they
like
were
that.
more open about it. They were more open. I think that I hate. I was trying to avoid saying it, but that it is very open now with the racism aspect and the
By
bigots and
other
stuff.
people in
It is very
uniform.
open now. I don't know. I feel like that just
So
added
you were
fuel to the
stationed with these
fire.
people. Did you ever work with any of them?
Yeah. Oh, dog, man, listen. Like, you can only say but so much, but like I said, like, hey man, like I was called everything. I was called everything. So by other people in uniform. Yes, sir. Oh, heck yeah. Like shoot, one of them was my troop. One of them was my troop. Um a couple of people, I think one time it was we had went out like a night on the town, and I think we were at a restaurant and somebody called us, a bunch of niggas or whatever. And then the other time it was by a guy that I worked with in uniform, and I was just black bitch. Just I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's how you want to
exactly.
rock.
It's a
But the
weird
thing
double
about it
standard there.
was, if if
I don't think a
we
lot of
as
people
black
understand that
people,
systemic
in
racism, right?
uniform were to say
Even
something
even folks that aren't
outlandish like
racist, right?
that,
Like
oh, we
white
would,
people make up the
oh man,
majority of
they would take
majority of
they would
America.
take one of our,
So
our rank from us, or we would be
people
heavily
associate better with
reprimanded.
people that
But
look like them,
everybody
sound like
else
them,
that ain't brown, they get a
from
slap
places
on the
that they're
wrist.
from, and what that
So
makes people do,
it
even
is.
people
I'm
who don't
telling
tend to
you,
be
it
prejudiced, right?
is.
They tend to lean in favor of people that look like them, like I said. So in the military, it sounds like obviously I would think there are more officers
Hmm.
that are of Caucasian descent, right? Um, and so those high ranked soldiers that are of Caucasian descent, they look more favorably on people that look like them as opposed to somebody that's different from them. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, yeah. Um, so would you say that? I mean, what was your experience? I mean, I don't know if you've seen like any officers that are black, that you could go to and that would have your back. You know what I mean? But I would wager to say it's
Yeah.
kind of one sided. Am I right?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, sorry, I didn't know if you could hear me. Oh, for sure. Yeah, you do have your people, and you have different, you do have your people of color in high places, and it would always be a thing. Like I gravitated towards them, or they gravitated towards me, and we would have our little weekly meetups. Like that was our time to vent. I swear, like that was our time to vent. Like whatever was happening, that was our time to vent. Like because
Daily
if I
meetups.
didn't vent, if I didn't hold that in, oh, I would have went crazy, man. I would have been on the front of somebody's newspaper because I would have strangled somebody. Like it's just
Right.
you can't hold that in forever. You can't hold that in, regardless if anything, regardless if that person that did you wrong is reprimanded or not. Like I couldn't hold that in. So yeah, we
Hmm.
literally had our daily meetups.
What's one of the worst
Literally.
stories you heard
No
doing
lie.
that?
Daily meetups, my brother. Daily. Daily would be the other brown people in the office that I work with, or in the office or in the building that I work with.
Big country.
Weekly or monthly would be like the higher ups, like the colonels, the chiefs, like people that had been there before. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Actually, Jeremy, real cool dude
Hmm.
from Mississippi. We call him Big Country. That's what we call him. He's just big country. He's just a friendly dude, man. I'm just like one of the best guys I've ever met in my entire
Legit.
life. Real cool. He told me that I guess one of those towns that we weren't supposed to go in, him and another guy were going to a party out that way, or somebody had a party, or they were driving through, one or the other. I guess a couple of the locals, the town locals, didn't appreciate them being there, and like literally like ran them off the road. Like legit,
Yeah, I can
like this is
imagine. A
like
life
this is
flash
like
before your
some
eyes like that.
1950s like Mississippi
That's
dam
crazy, man.
type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Ran them
This
off
is
the road
stuff you
just
see like the
because.
civil rights movie that it still happens
So
today.
they,
So
I
when
mean,
he
they knew it
told me
was him. I
that, I
guess.
was
I mean,
like,
obviously they knew it was him,
I
but
was
like,
shocked. I was shocked. Like just ran him off the road to scare him. Didn't hurt him, but I mean it
uh,
shook him.
I
And
see.
he's
I
a he
see.
a
Okay,
big
okay.
dude. And I mean
That makes sense.
this dude was
Well, it
timid
don't
when he
make
was
sense,
telling the
but it
story.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm I'm just confused because
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of
Exactly.
people in the world that don't really think
Yeah. So
that stuff like this really happens.
just because
And
just because they didn't want him there.
I was so like, let me ask you this. So when something like this would
Well, they just
happen, did
they
anybody
just knew it
report it
was
to
somebody
anybody that
black, and
could do
whoever
anything
it
about it,
was
or
black didn't
was it
belong there.
like
That's what they
just
knew.
take
Yeah.
the L and move on?
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
So he reported it, but I mean, there's nothing they could do. He ain't have no license plate. He ain't have like you got to have like some evidence behind that. You got to have a make and model of the car. You got to have seen some
But
faces,
y'all,
something. I mean, there's really nothing they could do about it. All he could do was report it, and basically what they would tell us, hey, don't go there. We told y'all don't go there. Why y'all take your ass over there anyway? You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
like
but that's
I
how it
don't,
always was, right?
I just
Like
don't
places
understand
like
like
that don't
why.
change.
I don't
I
understand
mean,
why this is still I
because I
do
mean, even back
understand
when
why,
we
but
were
I
actually
don't
going
understand. It
overseas and
just
fighting wars,
doesn't make
soldiers were coming
sense. So you
home
mean
and
to tell me
still getting
I'm
caught
out
every day in
here
public
being away
and
from my
whatnot, man.
family, risking my life
I just feel like
for that's another for
they gonna
y'all.
view us
Y'all don't
differently
even
always,
appreciate
just
it. What am I?
because,
What am I even doing in this
especially in
uniform? I
places
get
like that,
treated.
because
I don't get
I mean,
treated
you know how it is. Like
like
if
I'm
you
supposed to in this uniform. So
anywhere in
why
Jackson
even wear
County,
it?
like
Ain't
for
no
the most
point.
part, people don't change. They they get set in their
Exactly.
ways and they get
There's no
taught this
point.
one thing and they just keep doing it over and
Never.
over, perpetuating that same cycle. And that's exactly what that racism is, man. Like those little pockets of those backwoods ass areas. Like I just feel like that's gonna be the way it is forever. Unfortunately, because I think ultimately, like, in order to get out of their mindset, you got to get out and see the world. Because like I think a lot of them have never really even
Mm-mm.
met a black person or sat down and had a conversation with them. They just taught for whatever reason that black people are inferior, or that they're taught that hatred. Obviously, because I mean, as a
Oh
kid,
yeah.
what do you know about not liking somebody that
Nothing's
looks
gonna
different from you?
change. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, is what it is.
Right. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the first like interaction? Like,
Right.
what were they?
Right. I've actually ran into a couple of people who have never met a black person in their entire life until they joined the military. And I'm talking about you have like you're 17 signing the paper, but you're 18 coming in. So you talking about 17, 18 years of their life have never laid eyes on a black person before. Ever.
Right.
I'm like, yo, dude, like like I'm cool. I'm not gonna bite you. I don't know what you've seen on TV or what you heard. Like, I'm human just like you. I bleed the same blood. Like, I'm the same. But that's how they were raised. It's hard to I guess you can say mold somebody or continue to
Right.
mold somebody at that's almost too late. Almost like you're right at the cusp. The only reason they kind of had to melt was because you are in the military. Like, you have to work with people you don't like. You have to work with different skin colors, different genders. Don't Oh God, don't even we ain't even gonna put the whole transgender law that
Yeah.
came into effect,
So what?
because for a while the military was don't ask, don't tell. You
It
couldn't be
sounds
gay in
like
the
it.
military. You
What's
couldn't be
that?
nothing
So
but heterosexual in
you
the
said the guy
military.
had never
And
ever
now
seen a
that
black
they
person.
passed
So
the
what's
law,
that?
like
So
that
I imagine
for
he doesn't know,
gay
like
marriage, and
he
they
he only
ruled
knows what he's
out the
seen on
don't
TV,
ask,
right? So
don't
what's
tell
the what was
policy.
that?
Like,
So I
you
mean,
adding
did
that in
you
there
work with
was even
him like
worse.
going
I mean,
forward, or
not
was it
not
just
worse
like
in
you met him
not
that one
worse
time?
from the LGBTQ standpoint, but worse from somebody who's never seen that standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it was crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you have to. No, you have to. He wasn't like, he didn't work in my office, but he worked with some of the people that I work with. And I mean, there's nothing you could do. You could just be, only thing you can do is be yourself and still engage with the person and still treat them with respect. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, he hadn't disrespected me. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody else that I knew, during that time. So all I could do was just treat him with respect and show
Right.
him that,
Yeah.
yo, I don't know what the
I
hell
think the
you
saying
saw on
is what
TV,
is it?
or what your
A
parents
mind
told
once
you, or your
expanded can never go back to
grandparents,
the
or
dimensions
whoever.
it was
But
formerly
it's
of,
not
or
like
something like
we're
that.
not like
Basically,
that. And
when
after
you
a
learn some new
while,
shit, you can never go back to the old
he
shit.
I think think before
And
I
that's,
got
I mean,
ready
that's a
to
good thing, man.
leave,
Because I mean,
like, man,
he
we
came in
weren't
there not knowing
besties,
anything
obviously, but we were
about black
cool. We used to
folks,
all hang
and
out. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean,
it's just crazy.
at the very
It's just
least,
crazy
if he
how
doesn't
people
know,
can
you know,
change
most
once,
things now
like we
from
said,
hanging out
once
with
they're
y'all,
taken out of their
it's good.
environment.
It's good that he at least got to see, you know, a good side of the culture.
There you
Yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Yep.
You changed
Hmm.
somebody's life for sure.
Nope.
How often do you go back home? Yeah, right,
Oh, for sure, definitely, definitely. So that was a win for me. I must say so. Exactly. Man, so when I moved to South Carolina, oh,
right.
before South Carolina, I'll say I went home every couple of years because I was overseas. I was far. I was far away. Like I just couldn't unless hate to say this, but unless like somebody died like in my immediate family, I didn't go back home. I didn't. I went back home once when I was in Missouri. I think I went home twice when I was in Wyoming too. Twice when I was in Wyoming. So you talking about
Yeah,
a 4.5 year period? I went home 3 times, and then when I moved to South Carolina, obviously I was like, oh yes, I'm about to love this. I Man, when I first got here, it was the weekend of Fourth of
right. No
July,
hesitation.
2017. Man, I was home like every weekend. But now, like, I mean, I'm only an hour, hour and a half from the crib, hour 20 minutes, hour 30 minutes away from the crib. I go home every now and then, mainly because, like, my mom,
Right.
she works a lot,
You ever
so she
forget? You
still
ever feel
works,
like you
works the night
forget,
shift
you
or
know,
whatever. I
where you
go
came
home and
from?
see her whenever I can. Matter of fact, I'm actually going home tomorrow. She asked me to come to like some dinner with her. I was like, "Yo, you buying?" She was like, "Yeah, shoot, yeah, I'm there." Yo, ass. Yo, what? My fat ass. Hell yeah, I'll be there. What time you say you want to meet? I got you, girl. But no, I don't go back home that often. And if I do, I'm like in and out. Like I'll stay the weekend. You'll never know I'm home until I get back to where I need to be. That's just how I roll.
Right.
Um, do I forget? I'm gonna say no. I don't ever forget where I came from, but I will say I try. As far as mentally, I try not to go back to that small mindset. And the good thing about it is me being exposed to different things. I was able to expose my family to different things. So that was a blessing in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I was telling all the
Right. Because
dishes, all the like
you
the
you have
food
to
dishes
ignore
and
all
stuff
of it. Yeah.
people introduced me to overseas or wherever I was at, or friends and family or whatever. Like I introduced my mom and my brother and like the rest of my
It's a funny
family
thing
and
you mentioned
friends.
that, you
I
know, all the
introduced them
foods
to
and
all those
seasonings,
different
right?
things.
So
Now
like,
they're like, yo, when the
I
next
think it
time, blah, blah, blah.
was
Yo, can you send me
last
some of
year,
that?
like November.
Whatever season it
I took
was,
my
or can you
dad
send me some of that?
to
Whatever. And I'm like, yo, I got
this
you. You know
Mexican
what I'm
place
saying?
in
Like,
Clinton. I
so
can't remember the name of it
it,
right now,
I'm
but
not
like
gonna say
I think that was the first time legit he
I
had
don't
had
I forgot
like
where I
Mexican
came
food.
from,
Like
but I just
I'm
try
talking like, you
mentally.
know,
I try not to
tortillas
go back to
and
that small
whatnot. And I was
mindset.
like,
Like
yo,
once you
for
see the
real? Like
world, it's hard
you in
to
your 60s,
unsee it.
fam. Like what is
It's hard to
what have
unsee
you
it,
been doing?
and
And it's
yeah,
not like it's right there in Clinton. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
It's
So it's
hard to unsee it. So
not
I
like, you
I am
know,
grateful
you had
for
to
the
come all the way over here to
military for
Charlotte to
giving me
get that
that
thing. But
opportunity. I will say that.
it's wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Like you you ain't never you ain't never had no chilaquiles and nothing like that.
Right, right, right.
So you was eating Taco Bell the whole time.
Yeah, you talk about that. Sorry, you talk about that. I legit
I'm talking
didn't
about
have
before we
Mexican food
thought,
until
you
I
know,
turned
Taco Bell
21
was
and I was in
disgusting
the
and shit.
military.
I'm
I
talking about when
promise
you
you.
was like
I did
16,
not.
17.
Dead ass serious. That's another
Yeah,
fun fact. I did not have
absolutely.
Mexican food. Mm-mm. I mean,
So
you got your like basic
being from that
tacos. I
small
mean, of
place,
course, I
right,
made tacos, but
and
your
throughout
parents or
everything we've
whoever made
discussed,
tacos, but actually going to
it
a legit Mexican
it
restaurant,
sounds
never
like
been until I turned 21.
it sounds
I
like
was
it's
in the
put you on a
military.
path to never go. First of all, never to go back,
Nothing. I ain't have
never to have to
nothing,
go
and
back
now
to
I
that small
love it.
place, that
Can't
small
stay away
mindset,
from
right?
it.
I think you said exactly that. So now,
No hell,
what do
man. We
you?
don't eat no taco. Hell, what's
You're
wrong
out of the
with you?
military now,
Taco
right?
hell
Or
is
you're
disgusting.
about to be out,
Oh yeah, I used to fuck it up. Oh, of course. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah.
January. My chains.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that you refer to them as chains, but I mean, I guess if you're in a contract, you being released from that contract that you don't want to be in. Yeah, I can see how you call them chains. So
Mm-hmm.
the question on I guess the question on the table is going to be, what are you planning to do next?
Technically, I'm on terminal leave, so I'm out technically, but my official date of separation isn't until January. I'm not like like my chains will be cut in
Right.
January. Yeah, my chains. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. Mhm.
So right now, honestly, man, after you've been going nonstop for over 9 years, because I was in there over
Right.
9 years. It was almost nine and a half, honestly. If I would have made it to the end of the year, it would have been 9.5 years. But after you've been like I've literally had one job. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta think like when you're military versus civilian, men in civilian work,
Right.
oh,
Right.
you can,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, you change jobs and what, however frequent you want to, right? You know what I'm saying? But the military, like, that's your job. Yeah, you can change like different careers within the military, but you're still in the military in the day. You still have to wear that uniform. You still got to put on them combat boots and wear that heavy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? So after about almost 9.5 years, bro, I am taking a
Mhm.
much needed break. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have no job right now. I'm perfectly fine with that. But at the same time, I'm still getting my military paycheck until my chains are completely broken in January. So like I'm still getting money, but I'm just not working, and I'm literally like enjoying it, like not doing anything, just chilling and just actually living life. And but right now I'm not doing anything. I'm a little torn right now. My plan was in January was to attend Wake Tech in Raleigh and do the MRI certification program, because I always wanted to be in the healthcare career
Right.
field.
Yeah.
But my mom was a nurse, my grandmother was a CNA, and I was like, ooh, I don't want to do that nurse. And my girlfriend's a nurse too. I was like, ooh, I don't want to do that. Oof, I don't got that time. I was like, yeah, the military will pay for it, but I need some money. I need it right now. So the MRI tech,
Yeah. Especially
I
now
was
where
like,
you are. Yeah.
yo, I looked online at the curriculum.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I've been out of school for a minute. I said, but I do have an associate's, and I do have like
Mhm.
some like small like certificates and stuff like in the admin world and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, like I can make this work. And I was like, and around here, the RTP area and the RDU area, like this is nothing but like, yo, they got the best hospitals here. The best hospitals in the world are here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're going to make good money if you're in the healthcare field, or you're in the IT world. You're gonna make some good money if you live out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no way you cannot have a job if you're in one of those career fields. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that was
Right.
the plan for January, but the I got out a little bit later than what I expected. So I'll probably hold off on that until the summertime. And until then, right now, I really have just been, me and my girlfriend really have just been trying to expand this business, like trying to get the word out. Because eventually,
Right.
we
Yeah.
want a storefront. I want a
Yeah.
storefront,
Enjoy that big
and I
time.
want to be able to. I want to be able to put up, a lot of the, most of the money that we make versus, getting a loan from the bank. I mean, eventually, obviously, I'm still going to have to,
It's
but
off the
I don't
top.
want to get that much. The less, the better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I've literally just been trying to expand that. Just catching up with friends that I haven't seen in years, that I haven't talked to in years, spending quality time with my mom, my girl, my brother, my cousins, like just everything I missed out on. Like I'm trying to
Right, because you
catch
can't.
up, or not catch up, I'll say make new memories, because you can't really catch up. Once time is gone, it's gone. So yeah, man, like yeah, that's what I'm saying. So literally, that's what I have been doing, and I have been enjoying every minute of it. I'm not gonna lie. Like it feels good to just wake up. But the thing about it is, funny thing about it is, I have an internal clock. So my girlfriend gets up. Yeah, I have an internal clock. My girlfriend gets up at like 6 in the morning. She got to
Right.
be
So
working
what
like 7 or
what
whatever.
garnered you to start
Dude,
that
I'm
business?
up.
So what? Why
I'm either
choose?
like, packing her lunch and getting her breakfast, and then like she out the door, and she'll text me like 15, 20 minutes later. She like, what you doing? I was like, oh, I just took a shower and I just went to the gym. She like, bro, like, what are you?
Mortgage Street Food.
Why don't
Okay.
you go back to sleep? And like my body will not allow me to sleep. I really can't sleep in like that. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm literally up. And while I'm up, after I leave the gym or do whatever I got to do, I'm out here making juices, trying to passing out flyers or business cards, or just trying to get
Mm-hmm.
everybody who's somebody to, peep into the business and see what's what, and try, just try the different things that we got going on right now. So yeah. So we went to in Raleigh. We had went to
Right. Right.
it's this place called Morgan Street Food Hall, and pretty much it's just like Morgan Street Food Hall. It's pretty legit. They have I can't remember this taco place. It's this bomb taco place. They got this Korean spot. They got like this soul food
Mm-hmm.
spot, and then they got the what's the lobster? I think it's called Cousin's Main Lobster or something
Right.
like
Yeah.
that. Real good
Everywhere.
place. And so we were looking, and they got ice cream places, and then they got like a
Mm-hmm.
bar, a couple bars in there. And we were looking. I was like, yo, they really don't have like a smoothie, or in a place like that, you would think people are walking around and stuff like that. And they have different like small little vendors selling like different trinkets and stuff. I was like, you would think a place like this would have like smoothies or juice or something like that. And she literally was like, yo, they don't have a smoothie place. Like they don't have a smoothie or a juice bar. Like that's weird, because I mean smoothie and
Right.
juice
Right.
bars are like all over the place. Like you can't go you in well, I'm not gonna say North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
but in some of the bigger places like Atlanta, you can't go too far without like one being on almost every corner. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, yo, like, and she had just bought me a juicer. She had just bought me a juicer for my birthday. She had just bought me a juicer for my birthday. And I had been like trying out different stuff, but it was just for me. And so she was like, yo, why don't you, like sell some juices to like your coworkers and stuff. And then I was still in the military. I was like, girl, ain't nobody gonna buy no damn juice. What is you
Mm-hmm.
talking about? You crazy. Ain't nobody gonna pay no money for no juice. She was like, bruh, like juicing is in. Like, everybody's trying to get on their health journey, on their fitness journey. And what better way than to start with, everybody loves juice.
Right.
And what better way than to start with this? So, we put down, like, it was literally an idea. It was literally an idea, a
Right.
thought.
Yeah. It's
We put
catchy.
that on paper. We started trying different recipes, like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. Doing a little research about the benefits of each vegetable, each ingredient. And literally we just ran from there, came up with some names. My one of our homegirls, Saudia, she's on Twitter. Actually, I can't remember what her Twitter handle is, but she's on Twitter. She designed our labels, and I think people fell in love. People fell in love with the product because it tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
But people also fell in love with the labels and the branding, because it's like really funky. You know what I'm saying? It's not like really, it's not boring, but it's very colorful. It's very
Right.
vibrant,
Right.
and it
So
fits. Not only
what's
does
the
it
big
fit the
thing about the
brand, but it fits
crystals?
our
So
personalities as well.
fun fact, right? I was looking for some sea
Yeah,
moss.
it's
I don't know
very
if you know
catchy.
what that
So
is.
we just took that and ran with it.
So I walk
And
into the
right
store
now we're
and
just gonna do
the chicks
juices.
have like bladder
Eventually, we have
wrap
5 juices.
and
Eventually, we're
sarsaparilla,
gonna
all
expand to
these like
smoothies.
raw
And I
herbs, right?
also, I'm really
And
into
she kind of
like
asked me, was I
I'm really
spiritual,
into like
religious,
I've been getting
basically? She
in
said, "Do
lately
you
to
like
like
crystals
crystals.
and
Well, for the
stuff like
past
that?" And
couple years,
I
like
didn't know what to
crystals
say because I didn't know
and
what she was talking about. So can you explain a
sage
little
and
about
all
that?
that stuff. So right now, like we'll do smoothies, and we'll do herbal teas as well. We'll do herbal teas as well. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, hopefully with those products we'll have enough to, get our own storefront. Yeah, man. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm.
So the crystals, I actually started
Right. Black Panther shit.
I actually started because I collect or I have if you ever been on my Instagram or Facebook, I always, anytime I go out, I always have my beads, my bracelets with me, and they have they're different type of crystals. So the different crystals carry different energies. So I feel like, let me know if it's too deep for you, but I feel like as Black people, before I
Hmm.
can't say so one, I can't say I'm a religious person. I'm more of a spiritual person. So I feel like before Christianity was kind of forced upon us, or we were introduced to Christianity, um I'll say that I think we were people of the earth. We worshiped our ancestors.
Hmm.
We practice black magic. Yeah, we still practice voodoo, all that shit. We still practice that, and so that has a lot to do with it. And
Hmm. I
it's just
agree.
healing. It's just healing energies. Different crystals carry different energies, and you know what? Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna get you a book on that, so then you can study it, and so you can know. I'm still learning myself, but like some of the basic ones, the rose quartz, the amethyst. It's like there are endless crystals out there, and they just carry healing
Speaking of
energies.
that,
And what you
right?
do
So
is how you
we
charge
talked
those
about that hard
crystals.
work and that
So what
effort
you
it
do
takes to
is
build a business, right? So
sunlight,
how
or
has
you
it
put them in like
been
your
just from start to
windowsill,
finish? I know you said
sunlight,
you kind of
or the
snowballed into it, right? You
moonlight,
just
like
had an
full moon or
idea, and
something like that.
you're
And what you
selling
do
juices at
is you're
work, and
speaking
then
positive
you had
affirmations
somebody
over
design the
those
label.
crystals,
So
and you
what's
wear
been
those
some of the
positive
hurdles,
affirmations.
getting to this point
So,
where
and
you're,
I feel like when you
making
start
plans of
speaking
buying a
that stuff, you
storefront
start
and
believing it, because I feel like your mind is the
putting
strongest
a
thing
big
in your body. You know what I'm saying?
big system together.
Like, yeah, your mind is very strong. So once you start speaking it, you start believing it. And once you get that down, like there's nothing you can't overcome, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Like there's nothing you can't do, because you have all the aspects to help you get to that next level wherever you want to go. uh oh yeah.
Right. Right.
Oh, um I feel like, I'm trying to think. Let's see. The biggest hurdle probably has been, I don't know if there has been a big hurdle as of yet. The biggest hurdle for me was when I was in the military, being in South Carolina, and then my girlfriend being in North Carolina. So for a long time, she probably gonna kill me for saying this, but I don't care. For a long time, she pretty much, like, she's a Virgo. She's very organized, very neat. She does a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot. She does all of the bookkeeping. She does the sales, the gains, the losses. She's good with that. She does all that. I was good at the logistics because that's what I did in the military. I get shit done from point A to point B. I'm gonna figure it out. If it's a point eight, a 1.5, like in the middle, I need to figure out how to get around that and get to
Right.
point B. Like that was my thing. That's what I was supposed to do. So I did pretty much all the legwork, and she did the book work. And
Right. Exactly.
being geographically separated, it was hard because I had most of the product, and I had most of the equipment in South Carolina. And so I would literally have to bring everything I had from South Carolina to North Carolina during the weekend. And we would spend our Friday and Saturday, we would do whatever we wanted to. And then Sunday we would get up, we would be juicing all day. We'd be juicing all day. And, and that would be my, that technically was my last day with her until I had to go back to work. So we weren't spending that much time together because you got to think, you worked all week. We both work all week. She get off work. She tired. I have to get off work and drive up here. It's like a 3.5 hour drive. I'm tired. So Friday is like literally you sleep, you chill and you sleep. Saturday, you still tired. Like you still tired. So you really didn't have a weekend. So that for us was our biggest hurdle. So once I got out, and plus she would sell to the people at her job. So then I would have to make juice while I was in South Carolina during my work week while I worked and bring them up here, or I would just wait and purchase all the products here and then make it here. Like it was crazy. So I am so glad that South Carolina is out of the picture now and I am in North Carolina permanently, because that was the biggest hurdle, man. It was so much work. That was our biggest hurdle. Other than that, like we literally everything has been effortless. Like from the designs, from the business cards, we're getting ready to put up a website. The same woman that designed did our branding, she's going to create us a website, because that's what she does. She does branding, marketing. That's what she does. I think she used to work for, I want to say she used to work for like Hanes or something, like the market, and she did marketing for like Hanes, like literally Hanes, like t-shirts, underwear, socks, whatever, like,